All right, guys, I got to talk about this, and I'm kind of happy that someone's actually stepping up to the plate when it comes to altered bats, but then they're going to have a lot of questions. Um, and first, let me get to you got to applaud SPA. We're leaving to go to Georgia on Thursday, um, and we're going to compete in that the Georgia tournament, SPA tournament. Well, now last year they inspected bats, just looked at them. But what I've been told, this is an email that I just got. It's a 2-page email that I got talking about what SPA is doing this weekend at this tournament, and they're only going to do it to major and major plus players. And I applaud them for it. I mean, at least someone's stepping up to the plate. It's getting hot. At least someone's stepping up to the plate and doing something, and not sitting on their ass till someone gets hurt. And you always want to, you don't want to wait for somebody to get seriously hurt. You always want to do this shit beforehand. That way, at least they're doing something. Now, I have a problem. I mean, I applaud them for what they're doing, but I got a problem with a couple of things that they're going to do. They're talking about 1.21 BPF, and they're going to have a bat tester. And if that bat tester, and maybe you guys can clear some of this shit up for me, they're going to have a bat tester there to test the compression of the bats. Well, I don't think you can do a 1.21 in compression test. I don't think unless somebody has a number. I know there's numbers when it comes to ASA and USSSA, but I never heard there being a number with A. I haven't heard it. I mean, what is a compression test? Because I guarantee if you put it on a USSSA compression tester, 80% of the people who have bats or players who have bats there will fail. And it's kind of a slippery slope here too, guys. And I applaud them for what they're doing. Don't get me wrong. I just have a problem with what is the number. I hear it a lot in this is 1.21 BPF. If it exceeds the 1.21 BPF, they can be suspended from SPA for a year for their first offense. Now, I'm going to tell you right now about, I'm not talking about compression tester, but a lot of bats, a lot of your bats will exceed a 1.21 BPF, and it does not mean they're altered. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but it's a fact. Does not mean it's altered. When you break a bat in, you've got 2,000. Okay, let's say a Dudley. Let's say the 2016, 2015 Dudleys. The one that gets 3,000 swings on it, it's got a soft barrel on it. That bat will not pass. It won't pass the 1.21 BPF. It won't pass the compression tester. It'll test very low. The walls will collapse on it when you put compression tester on it. Now, does that mean it's an altered bat? No, it doesn't. So it's almost like a false positive where it's going to throw up red flags, and then what's going to do, they're going to cut it open or find out it's not been shaved. It's just well broken bat. So your newer bats are going to pass, and the bats that I'm going to guarantee you one thing, and I'll bet my house on this one. The balanced Dudleys, the black ones, and then the gray ones, not the newer ones that are crap, but the old balanced bats, they fail a compression tester faster than the 2.0s. But it's not as high performance because of the mass. It's not an end load. So Dudley can get away with making the walls a lot more livelier on the balanced bat, but it doesn't get any distance on it because of the mass. It doesn't have a lot of mass. That battle lasts about 1,000 swings. 2.0, we're getting 2,000 swings on a 2.0, but it's got mass on the end of it. So it's got a little bit of tougher barrel. So, you when you put a compression tester on it, on the balance compared to Dudley, the balance will fail. It'll test over the 1.21 BPF, but because of the mass the way it's loaded, the freaking 2.0s will carry the ball further. So it's going to look like these guys got accused of altering a bat. Let's say they do test it, and it because it failed the compression test in the 2.0. I hope you guys get this. What I'm saying is, it's not all about. That's how come I say I don't believe in compression testing. It does start something where you can look further into it, but it doesn't. It's not all of a sudden, boom, you cheated. It doesn't work that way because of the way the bat's loaded. It's got to be loaded. It's got to have some mass on the end of it, Or you can make that barrel soft as you want, but if you don't have no mass on the end, no end load, that ball's not going to carry. It's not going to get through the infield fast. That's the reason I'm saying these compression testing, and you're throwing this number out there. If it exceeds 1.21, how are you going to test the 1.21 when you get to a tournament? Here's what I would do. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and moan about this shit unless I have a solution for it. You guys need to make phone calls, because I don't think you're going to do it. You need to call these guys that shave bats. Maybe you know somebody that shaves these bats. You need to get a compression tester on them with about 300 swings, 400 swings on them, and find out what they compression test at. Now you have a number to go by. You have a base. So that number, I'm just going to say, let's say it's 110. Let's say it tests it compressed that barrel that much, 110. I'm just going to say, I don't even freaking know. I don't know. Let's say it's 110. You get it down to that. Shave bat, 400 swings on it. Now when you start compression testing your bats at these tournaments, and if they get close to a 110, it's going to throw up a red flag, and then you can take it one step further. But you guys are talking about compression testing bats, and you can't put them up against an ASA tester. You can't put up against a U-trip tester, because they're totally different. They are going to fail. Most of your bats that you have in your bag, 75%, 80% of your bats are going to fail a compression test. If you do it against a U-trip, let's say standards, they're going to go lower. But if you have a shave bat, and if you have a few of them, have somebody test them, come up with a number, 110, 115, whatever, and then you got that number, and then you can start. That's a base for you. And then when you start testing bats or do this random testing you're talking about, then when it gets close to that number, and you're like, oh, I've got a red flag here, you put it aside and mark it. Now, here's the second thing I have a problem with. Let's say somebody protests me. All right, here's my bat. I don't want you to, because it says in here, they will take the bat after it's protested. It's $450 a protested bat at this tournament this weekend. Guys, I mean, I applaud the shit out of you guys for doing this. At least you got the balls to step up and do it. Nobody else is. This would make me want to play tournaments with you. I'm just telling you, this would make my team want to go to your tournaments and play, because I know that you guys are testing these bats. So it's a draw for a lot of people that's getting tired of the bullshit that's going on out there. But here's the deal. You take my bat. The guy pays $450. They're gonna test my bat, protest it. Okay. You're talking about taking my bat out of my hands, and you're talking about taking it to the SPA place, send it to them, have them inspect it without me being there. I have a problem with that, because I don't fucking trust anybody. I do not trust anybody. I don't give a shit. I don't trust anybody. I want you to cut that sumbitch open right there and videotape it, okay? Because here we're talking about you think I'm swinging a shaved bat. Cut the shit open right in front of me. That way it's not out of my hands, not out of your hands. The guy that protested is right there. You take that sumbitch right there and you cut it open right there in front of me. Videotape the whole thing, and you got to videotape it too, because could you imagine all these guys that get popped, and there is going to be a few, and then you start videotaping it? And I would do it live, Facebook Live. I would do it on Facebook Live, and I would videotape. I'd put it on my freaking Facebook channel, and you videotape them guys cutting them bats open, and you talk about some assholes puckering, them cheating ass bastards that out there. Them assholes would be going, because they don't want to be outed. They don't want their face to go up on senior softball website, SSU and SASPA and all the. Hell, I'd put up on my website, I would put up a freaking wall of shame shit. I'd put their shit on up there, is what I would do. But at least they're doing something. The only thing I have a problem with is you got to have a number that you're going to test these bats at. And the way to do that is get somebody to give you some numbers on a shave bat and have that number. And then if you test, when you do have your compression test around, you randomly doing this, if they get close to that number, somebody protested it, they get close to that number, boom, there's a red flag. You take your hacksaw or your chop saw, you get the video cameras going, you cut that sumbitch right open right there, have the guy that swung the bat, the guy that protested, the tournament director right there in front of you, and you cut that shit open, you Facebook Live it, you videotape it, you put it on YouTube, and you get that son of a bitch exposed for being a fucking cheater. So, but I tell you what, guys, at least they're fucking moving in the right direction. I'm sorry for the cursing, but at least someone is stepping up to the plate and doing something about this before somebody gets killed. And that's the biggest thing, before someone gets killed. I'm tired of these motherfuckers out there, okay, that wait till someone gets hurt. badly and then fucking start doing this shit. By then it's too late. And then I'm going to be bitching and moaning and go, why didn't you do this shit fucking 2 years ago? You know? That's my rant, guys. But at least SPA this weekend, and I applaud them for it, is stepping up to the plate. But if you're going to protest me, I want that son of a bitch cut open right there. I want it on the YouTube. I want it on freaking Facebook Live. I want it out there, okay? And I guarantee you, that's a deterrent. You're going to get a lot of guys that are swinging the glass. Ain't going to bring that shit to tournaments anymore. Thanks, guys.